Hi guys, I'm back, and so I prepared some more foils, and this is my first diagonal back section of the highlights. And so what I have right here, so we take thin diagonal partings, and we are commencing again with the weave, and the weave highlight, and you see this hair right here. Okay, I'm seeing that this is a really nice caramely color. I'm seeing this piece could stand to be lighter. This piece could stand to be lighter, and this piece, all these pieces right here can all stand to be lighter. And so this section is my weave. And with one foil like this, and I'm holding the comb, I'm going to hold the comb in place to make sure that it's as close to the root as possible. I take my bleaching mixture, a very small amount, and I feather it on, and I feather it, and I feather it, making it very precise. Okay, you see my brush is clean. We need to feather just a little bit more of this bleaching mixture, and we are just feathering it on. And doing these diagonal back sections are going to save you a lot of time. And also what I'm thinking is that these diagonal sections are going to give you some really beautiful face framing highlights and some peekaboos. And I think overall they just brighten up your base, especially if you're a brunette and you don't want to go all the way blonde. I feel like a few of these face framing highlights can even like bring the darkest of hair to life, honestly. And honestly, like my preferred way of making blondes is through highlights only. Like I try to shy away from those like traditional bleach outs because I just feel like highlights is more fun and it's more precise and there's more art to it than just glopping on the bleach in large sections of hair. Okay, so let me show you. Okay, and you see how I lightly coated her hair, and you see how I was digging to make sure that it was even and she's not going to have a patchy result. And I sandwich my foil like this. I let the comb go, and I'm ready for my next section. So I bring down another section of hair. Okay. So these beautiful caramely pieces I'm weaving out, and I'm only weaving out the places where I want her to get some lift. So, and this is going to be a very skinny section. This is all I'm highlighting right here. And we take the foil and we keep the comb in place like this. I take a little bit of my bleach and I apply it half an inch, very close. And also with this technique, there is no bleed marks. And you could apply it really close, as close to the scalp as you need to, without, whatchamacallit, without having a stripe or without the patchiness. Because that's what happens if you put too much bleach on the foil, it seeps out and it swells, and you don't want that. Less is more, honestly. In everything, less is more, but particularly with highlights, and it's particularly with bleaching. And as much as I like the chunky look for the highlights, there is some elegance to having these really thin highlights, and they brighten up your base in a subtle manner without changing your overall base, which is what you want, especially if you want to be in the darker blonde ranges. And I sandwich my foil, and then I'm doing another section, and I'm going to do another weave. Not to be confused with the weave hair extensions. Okay. So what do we have here? Okay. So I see this beautiful caramely color, but I do see some places that need to be lightened. And so I'm going to weave very little right here. And then right here. and right here. Okay. And let me pull the camera so you guys can see. Okay. So you see how right here there is a bit of an unevenness? I'm going to fix that right now. And sometimes it's very commonplace, you know, in extremely dark hair that you're lifting for the first time. Some areas are just going to grab the lightener faster than others, and that's totally fine, but we can fix it. And I'm doing really, really well. Let me move her hair out of the way. No, it's good. She didn't get any bleach on it. But as I was saying, in just 6 minutes, I'm already halfway there with her section. I love doing these diagonal back sections. And it's cool. I did a diagonal forward section on my last video, and I'm doing a diagonal back for this section, which is awesome. Okay, the hair is nicely coated, and I'm taking my foil, sandwiching it, and I'm ready to proceed to my next section. Okay, same thing right here. I see some areas where I want to get it even closer to the root, so I'm just going to weave all this hair out. And leave this hair behind. Take my foil. Hold the comb in its place. Make sure that her hair is out of the way. And I'm just feathering on the product where I see. Okay. Let me show you this. This is really cool, actually. Okay. Sometimes you have people come in with regrowth, and you don't want to bleach their previously bleached hair. You just want to bleach their regrowth to match the bottom. This is what's kind of going on with her right here. And so you see how I did a partial application? That's where I stopped my application for this section. Okay. And then we just sandwich the other foil. And I'm taking another section of hair like this. Let me just reposition the camera. Okay. And let's see. Taking another section and okay. I see some really blonde pieces and others not so blonde. So the not so blonde is what's going to get the threading motion. And so I'm going to do an up, down, up, down, up, down. And this is all that's going to be my section for this quadrant, for this little piece right here. I'm going to do it like that. Take this like this, and we apply the bleach. So let's see if we can get this section done in 5 minutes or less. I'm just feathering on the product and I'm digging for even saturation. Taking another foil Nice little sandwich. Okay. Okay. So, let me see. I like the brown and the caramel weaved in, but I do see this little piece right here that the bleach didn't take on my previous application, and I see a little patchiness there. I'm gonna fix that, and right there, and okay. So this is what's getting the bleaching mixture. And because we're using very little bleach, I still have half of my mixture in my bowl, which is awesome. So I could always go back and reapply it on the areas that don't want to, that are stubborn and they really don't want to lift. Okay, so I applied the bleaching mixture, and we're putting another foil. Okay, let's see. We're very close to the finish line. I'm so happy. And so this is the face frame that I was talking about. Okay. Because she has all this caramely goodness here, I'm gonna like weave it in one go. And let's see, the hair that needs to be highlighted, I'm gonna just do up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay, and you see all this is getting left out of the mixture, and so now we're out of, yeah, this hair got left out, and so this is going to be my face framing highlight. And in just a little over 12 minutes, I did a full diagonal back section. The diagonal forward motion took me 18 minutes, and so I became 30%, over 30% more efficient by doing these diagonal back sections. And the hair processes the fastest from the front, and so it's always good to, and the hair is darkest in the back, so it's always good to go back and then front. And I've had my beauty license for over 10 years, and I'm still learning. So you're always learning, and you're always evolving. You know, everybody has something unique to bring to the table. And I feel like, you know, you just gotta, you know, do everything that makes you happy. Because when you're happy, you do a good job. Okay, and I'm feathering on the product like so. Okay, so in just 14 minutes, we established our diagonal back section. And, okay. Oh. So see, in just 14 minutes, we have this section. We have our mohawk processing. Now I have to go and do this side. Okay, I'll check in a few minutes.